In this video, we're going to be covering another SQL question. This is Leetcode question number 1635. We have been given drivers table, rides table, accepted rides table. So, yeah, I think it is something, the question name is something related to the Hooper company. I gotta check it again. What is the title of the um, title of the question, but something related to the Hooper company. So it's kind of an Uber company, which they made it Hooper company, which has drivers, and the driver ID is the primary key, and the join date is when it is a date, and this is the date where he joined the company and became a driver. We have rides table. We have a ride ID. It's a unique ID. It's a primary key. Then we have a user ID who actually requested that ride, and then requested at is the requested date. So far so good. Now we have accepted rides. All these rides which have been requested are not the accepted rides, they didn't happen. This table, the accepted rides, is going to show you the ride ID, the driver ID who took it, how much distance he covered, for how long he covered it, for how long was the drive. All of that is gonna be the accepted ride which actually happened. Ride ID is the primary key, and it is guaranteed that each accepted ride exists in the ride table. Of course, it is gonna exist here first, and then depending on the scenario, uh, it may or may not be able to make it to the accepted rides. Write a SQL query to report the following statistics for each month of 2020. So you're going to be showing 12 months, 2020, January to December. The number of drivers currently with the Hooper company by the end of the month. Active drivers. So you're going to be showing the active drivers. Again, we already are told that we're going to be showing the number of months, all the months of the year 2020. The second thing is that the total number of drivers currently with the Hooper company, meaning how many are the active drivers, and then the number of accepted rides in that month, in that particular month. That is it. So we have these entries for the driver ID. This driver joined in 2019 on December 10th, and so on and so forth. And these were the different rides, all the rides, right? Created by the different these users. Oh, user, we do not have a user table, but they are, they could be from the same user, they could be from the different user, but on different uh, dates. Then these are the accepted rides. They are all in here, these IDs. This is a superset here, and all these ride ID IDs are superset of this one, the accepted rides. Now in the end, what he wants to see is, like, first of all, we need to create that. We do not have this information anywhere in these tables, that there are 12 months in a year. So we're going to be creating this column, that okay, we have uh, that okay we have yeah that okay we have month number 1, which is going to represent January, month number 2, which is going to represent February, month number 3, which is going to represent March, and so on and so forth. Active number of drivers, anything before year 2020, anything happened in 2019 is gonna get fall in here. That starting 2020 we had two active drivers, right? This number, as you can see, is gonna get bigger and bigger because we do not have a way to actually remove a driver. So they're gonna start with whatever we had in 2020 in 2019 and whatever we had in the first month of 2020, right? Actually, we should be looking here. This driver is gonna make to that result of 2. This is gonna be there and this is gonna be there. These two drivers, ID number 10 and 8, is gonna be available in January. Similarly, actually, accepted rides are like how many rides were there which were accepted and they were in January, right? Okay, as I said, there are three things. We are selecting the month, which is gonna go from 1 to 12. 1 is gonna represent January, 2 is gonna represent February. The second thing is active drivers. So far, this is always gonna be incrementing as we cannot remove any of the drivers. So far, how many active drivers or how many drivers have been enrolled in this company? That's the second column. Then the third one is that how many accepted rides in that particular month. This is not an accumulating result. This is accumulating only for the month. In order to create the first one, we're going to be selecting from here. Basically, we are saying that select 1 as month, select 2 as month, select 3 as month. So we are actually creating those entries. So this is one way of creating those entries. So this is basically we are creating all of it, the first column. So this is going to give us this first column in here. Now we're going to left join, and the second column, which is the total number of active drivers, right? Active drivers, that's going to come from the second join over here. And the third one, which is the accepted rides, how many of them, like how many accepted rides in that particular month, that is going to come from this one. And then we're going to be grouping them by the month and ordering them by the month. So now look at the second one where we are calculating the active drivers, right? So that's going to come from here, uh, active drivers. So one logic is that we have couple of functions in MySQL which we can use. Case is basically a case statement that if this is true then this, otherwise this. So what that is going to be the month. So what we are saying is like join date is a date format over here. If you use a year function, a function called year on this one, it's a keyword in MySQL. It's gonna give you the year in that date, and if you use the keyword month, it's gonna give you the month in that date variable. So we are saying that select the driver ID, and why do we need the driver ID? This is because it's gonna get used later on. Uh, yeah, over here. So we have R and we have A, we have T. We will come back to this one, like why, whether or not we really needed the driver ID. Yeah, we didn't use it anywhere. Regardless, this is the thing which we needed was this month, right? That is gonna show up there. Oh, yes, we needed that. Driver ID is needed over here when calculating that. We're gonna be calculating distinct driver IDs, how many of them were able did make it in order to calculate the accumulative result. So we're gonna need the driver ID and we're gonna have another one as a month. From drivers, where the joining year, join date is either less than or equal to 2020. And we are saying that if it is the join date is basically the year of that is 2019, then just make it 1 because he already selected before the year 2020 starts. So that is all gonna fall in January. Putting as one means we are setting it as January. Otherwise, we're gonna take the month. So meaning otherwise, if he is like, again, we do have a condition here that we only want to consider the ones who joined in 2020 or before 2020. So there is one entry in here which actually joined in 2021. We're not gonna consider that, right? Okay, so basically this is a case statement. We are telling whether that particular driver ID joined in month 1, 2, 3, which month it is gonna he join, and we're gonna be doing a left join of this one over here on the month. This is just the months 1 to 12, and t dot month is which we are creating here. The last is the left join of the third column, which is the like the accepted rides, how many accepted rides. So again, we need the month again because we want to do a t dot month to the rides dot month, and month over here is basically select the month requested at as the month, right? Again, we do have a condition that we don't, this time we don't want to look at any of the rides which were requested before 2020 or after 2020 as rides. So the accepted rides is gonna be, yeah, so from the accepted ride we're doing that join the rides are so that we can get both the ride ID, we needed that, uh, and the month, right? And why we need the ride ID is because we're gonna count them in the end in order to get the accepted rides. This is basically like, sorry about that, elaboration of like how we're gonna be making this request in order to get the result. That's all I wanted to cover in this video. Thanks for watching.